good. I think we good. I think we good. Let me start this off right. I had to restart my thing. Dang. Start this. Yeah. 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 My peoples, y'all already know what's good, y'all. What's good, y'all. What's good, y'all. What's great. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm joined by my co-host, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world. My brother Santana, say something to the people.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good with y'all? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. As you know, you could have been anywhere else, but you're here with us tonight, and we appreciate that. So, as always, we got a jam-packed show for y'all, and we just gonna get right to it.
Yup, yup, yup. You. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like, hit that like, hit that like. We don't stress that enough on the show because we just come out and just give y'all straight medicine. You know what I'm saying? So hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that all notification, and also tap into the membership portion on our page. Different memberships, different access, and you'll get a cool fire badge. You see some of the people with the badge. Shout out to our day ones already in here early, straight active in here. That's what I'm talking about. That gumbo. I appreciate that, y'all. We got players in here like Rowan Jack. We got Winter Breeze in the building. We also have King Prince in the building. Culture Talk already in the building. Again, appreciate y'all for showing major love. Again, hit that like button and don't forget to share with a friend right now. Tell them to come through and get that medicine live right now. Yeah, that started off first segment of the night. Also, quick notice, quick caveat. We also on the road to 10,000 subscribers. So help us get to 10,000 subscribers, y'all. The road to 10,000 subscribers for this channel. First question of the night, y'all already know, is popular opinions. Where is the world's questions? So stick to the answers in the questions. This first segment is brought to you by OUV Records. Go on Instagram right now at OUV Records. Again, at OUV Records, where the label motto is create, document, and inspire. Stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. All right, first question of the night, y'all. Best fashion influencer in music on this list. Best fashion influencer in music on this list. Number one, Tupac. Number two, ASAP Rocky. Number three, Fabulous. Number four, Biggie Smalls. Again, let us know what y'all think in the chat.
I'm definitely going with Fabulous on this one.
Why you going with Fab?
It's just too much that Fab introduced. That you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be so ingrained in the culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like throwback jerseys, Von Dutch, trucker hats, uh what else? Like certain jean jackets, like, you know what I'm saying? He was rocking the Truies when the Truies first came out. You know what I'm saying? It was just so much like
Yeah,
pivotal times. So I'm going with that.
yeah. I mean, I think growing up in our time, like Fab was just a fully dude. You know what I'm saying? No matter what era it was of the fashion style, so to speak, Fab was that flea dude. Like Fab made you want to go put that on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm agreeing with you. I'm going with Fab as well. But I must mention that I'm not gonna lie. When you've seen Biggie, you wanted to rock Coogee. You wanted to rock Tim's. When you've seen Tupac, you try pulling off with Tupac. Not me per se, but I'm talking about other people. I've seen people try to pull off the Tupac look. I've seen people trying to do the ASAP Rocky type of style, you know what I'm saying, with the skinny mixed with the hip hop. But I'm going with Fab as well, you know what I'm saying? Nobody, I don't want to say influenced me more than Fab. Like I'm influenced by just ill, styles. And Fab is one of the people that just had ill style. So I'm influenced by Fab's style and how he put that on, even though I got my own wave, but I'm influenced by his wave. So I'm gonna say Fab on this list. You said Fab on this list. In the chat, I'm seeing Fab, I'm seeing Big. They say P. Diddy being sponsored by Balenciaga. Uh, so again, the rest of the world, I said again, but the rest of the world at 35% went with Tupac. What do you think about that?
I never seen Tupac as a person that had fashion and style like that had. You know what I'm saying? Buddy was wearing with leather vests with no shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget the do rag. Don't forget the doobie. Don't forget
It wasn't even a regular do rag. It was like some bandana
the
wrapped like a do rag.
yeah
You even
yeah
get the do rag. Like
yeah
that was never something I looked to Tupac for. Like never.
yeah. Well, not the do. Yeah, you're right. I meant to say bandana. It was the bandana, not the do rag.
I was never a person I was like, oh, I'm gonna see what style. Nah.
Yeah
So that was wild to me. I could have understood Biggie, but you know what I'm saying? He was at that age, he was a little younger. I didn't get Coogee until I got into high school. So
yeah yeah yeah.
other than that, I was never looking at Tupac as for fashion. But I don't see it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't see it either. I mean, I I seen other people trying to mimic his style growing up. You see what I'm saying? I seen other people trying to get into that Tupac bag with the silk shirt. I ain't gonna front the silk shirt through the Vegas lobby. I wanted a silk shirt because he was walking through the Vegas lobby with the silk all flowy. Like, I ain't gonna front. I wanted that action. Pause. But outside of the silk shirt action, I ain't never look at Tupac other styles and be like, yeah, I want to rock the bandana like that. I want to get the leather jumper with on butt naked. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll rock it on the butt naked. Sometimes he'll throw the little shirt on, but he'll rock it on the butt naked. I never want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me personally. So
I
what
don't
they
know what store or to buy that. You know what I'm saying? I never seen that being sold nowhere.
right,
That's custom. You know what I'm saying?
right. right. So I'm just saying. All right, moving on to our next popular opinion question. Best movie quote on this list. Best movie quote on this list. Number one, there's always business, not always in here, from Boys in the Hood. Number two, you guys got fat while everyone starved, King of New York. Number three, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove, Training Day. Number four, devils ain't got no love. You killing your own people. New Jack City. Stop laughing, bro. You laughing already, bro. You fighting for your life over there, bro. What's going on?
The old man. So, you know what I'm saying? Old man was ready to shoot me. You know what I'm saying? G Money slipping. You know what I'm
He really want to do me.
saying? The evil guy. So how you gonna talk to the old man like that?
Yo.
But I'm gonna have to go with King of New York, son.
Mm.
Though that was a crucial line in the movie, and that's when just the takeover just started. You know what I'm saying? That's when everybody just went gung ho. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
shooting up everybody. We just taking over the whole city. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with King of New York.
In the chat, they going with Training Day. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Hoyt. For me, you on with King of New. That's a hard line, and the way he said it and where he said it made it even tougher, right? I really want to go with Devils Ain't Got No Love, but because it's more prevalent today, I have to go to the Boys in the Hood quote where he says, "There's always business, just not always in here." And that is such like a double tantra, and he's like teaching them and schooling them all in the same moment, and they won't get that. Their teenage brains won't get that until they become adults later on and learning the game. So I gotta go with that one. There's always business, just not always in here. So I'm going with Boys in the Hood. My brother went with You Guys Got Fat While Everyone Starved from King of New York. In the chat, I'm seeing what they said again. They went with It's Not What You Know, It's What You Can Prove from Training Day. So at 39%, y'all, it's not what you know, is what you can prove from Training Day. What you think about that?
Not not a bad. That's not a bad line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Definitely important. But there was harder lines in there. But I give it to the Trenton one.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm probably not doing the line no justice the way how I'm saying it, but these lines is top tier, y'all. If y'all tap into any of these movies, the way that these actors not only gave the performance, but it's so much meaning behind just the line. So tap into those movies. Very powerful movies, very powerful quotes. All right, moving on to our next popular opinion question. This is interesting. Most tasty food combination. Most tasty food combination. Number one, and so they mix in foods in one. All right, so this is funny. Collard green linguine. Number two, baked mac and baked mac and cheese chicken wings. Number three, apple pie biscuits. Number four, bacon candy yams. This was very interesting because they just mixing stuff. So so it's collard green linguine, right? That's number one. Then baked mac and cheese chicken wings, and they actually have that. Apple pie biscuits, and then bacon candy yams.
Sheesh, all these shits is like
Roman Jack hit the nail right on the head. Pause when it talk about
arteries,
diabetes.
clog your arteries, crazy. But the one I probably have a taste for pause is probably the apple pie biscuits.
Bro, stop playing with the
Like
beat. Say that again for the people in the back, bro.
not my mama biscuits, you heard? So I want to get some of that apple pie biscuits. That sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, bro, I'm going with the damn apple pie biscuits, my damn self. Don't forget just a smidge of that butter. Just lay the butter a little. You know what I'm saying? Just a little butter on the jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I ain't gonna hold you. Them apple pie biscuits sound like it's trouble, trouble.
Some
Look,
serious right there.
I'm just saying. The bacon candy yams. I don't even eat bacon no more, but I remember how that pork bacon used to hit and candy yams hit together. That's some real like gluttonous type of action there. You know what I'm saying? That's like on remember the movie Seven? It was like what was one of the deadly sins? Gluttony, right? Was one of the
Uh,
sins. And it was like, yo, this is what I feel like. You know what I mean? The baked mac and cheese chicken wings. That's too much deliciousness in one, and they better separate. You know what I mean? Like
ain't fucking with that one.
that's too much deliciousness. And the collard green linguine, that's just wild. I think they just threw that in there from the movie New Jack City, where my man Nino was like, "Yo, next time you come back, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hook you up with some collard green linguine or some chitlins Alfredo." You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm going with apple. I'm going with apple pie biscuits. My brother went with apple pie biscuits. They saying heart attack in the chat. Apple pie. The apple pie biscuits sound good. So they also go with apple pie biscuits in the chat as well. At 37%, the rest of the world went with baked mac and cheese and baked mac and cheese chicken wings at 37%. What do you think about that?
Mm, they want a heart attack. That just don't even sound. I don't even know how you put that together. How you make baked macaroni fried chicken? Like
Yeah, yeah. They had some dudes on. Well, I remember Steve Harvey show. He had some dudes on the show that was making collard green chicken wings, baked mac and cheese chicken wings, candy yam chicken wings. Like they had all this in the chicken wings, and I haven't heard from them dudes since. But you know,
It sounds like that damn episode from Boondocks.
oh, the itis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly like that, son.
yeah, yeah. What they had the hamburger, the cheeseburger. Instead of the bun, they had the donut buns, the donuts on
Yeah,
glazed donuts with the bacon in the middle. That sounds crazy.
they probably put the bacon candy and bacon on top of that.
Yo, that is wild. All right, moving on to our next segment. Moving on to Hollywood Need to Ask Us. We came up with the segment because we getting a whole lot of trash ass movies in Hollywood that we didn't ask for. So we feel like we got better ideas. So Hollywood Need to Ask Us. You want to kick this one off?
I want Hollywood to make a series on the numbers game and truly every player. Well, actually, the lottery, what is called today, but back then it was called the numbers game. So I want a series based on the history of how the numbers game came about. The major players, we've had movies about that from Hoodlum with Lawrence Fishburne and what I'm saying, the characters such as Del Schultz and all that fight for the numbers game. So I want a more in-depth, uh, sort of like a historical, but like movie type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Y'all do it. Y'all
yeah.
did it before. Just piece it together, and I just want to see the game, like
Mhm.
I'm saying, the numbers game, and like how it came about because it was something that was revolutionary, and we still play it today. It's the lottery.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I want the credit to be due to those who were the innovators of this, and it wasn't even like one part in Harlem that they played it. Like this was like nationwide.
yeah,
And
yeah.
back they didn't have social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know me? So it was like everybody was doing it, everybody's hood. And it was like everybody knew the numbers game, whether you lived in Greensboro, North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
to 125th in Harlem, it's
Mm-hmm.
the same game. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you was in the south side of Chicago and you moved to southeast LA,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
the numbers, it's the numbers game. So I just want to know how that was able to travel and what I'm saying, people were able to control that game and get so big with it and the money became so powerful to the point where they came and took it over.
Yeah.
I want to see how it rose and fell and became what it is today. So I wanted to be called the numbers game, aka lottery.
That'll be hard. That'll be hard. Pause. I don't know if you remember, like they touched a little bit. It was very little. It was about the numbers game, but it was like a side part of the movie. You remember the movie Hoodlum?
Yeah,
It
but I
with the
wanted to be the main
oh yeah,
focus
yeah,
because
yeah.
that was one of the reasons why they went to war because it was one of the rackets that they controlled that they wanted a piece of.
Mm-hmm.
That's what started the war. But before the war started, I want to see how it got
Yeah,
to the point where,
yeah,
because
yeah.
remember, they didn't explain the fact that the mafia didn't even know that the black mafia was running that stuff. It was
Mm-hmm.
by accident they found out because it was an incident where somebody from the black hoodlums disrespected the mafia and they had to pay the ransom. And they just said an egregious number, not even thinking that they could come up with the money.
Yeah.
So when they came up with the money, it was like, wait, hold up. How these dudes even got this bread? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's how the whole thing's kicked off. Because now they're trying to figure out like black people supposed to be poor, quote unquote. But
Mm-hmm.
bro had his ransom money all in cash. Like, all right, give him my homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now it kind of put them in the spotlight because they trying to figure out like, yo, we run all the mafia run all the rackets. You know what I'm saying? They run all the streets. So how are these people getting bread without us even knowing about it? So I would definitely love to see something to showcase more so on the numbers game aspect of it because many shows, mafia stuff, even the one about Bumpy Johnson too with The Godfather
Yeah.
talks a
Yeah.
little bit, but I want the emphasis to be on that. I don't know why they don't focus more on that aspect more than anything. They're focused a lot on the running guns, booze, you know what I'm saying? Heroin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Why not the numbers game?
yeah,
So be something about the numbers game.
yeah. Now that would be fire. That would be fire. Damn, I forgot I was about to say regarding that idea. That would be fire though. That would be absolute fire. Um, it's crazy. Like back then too. Like the community. Like now it's the lottery and people win millions, right? But back then, like people was just cool with like, yo, my number's hit. Oh, all right, I got $600 coming to me. That's you know what I'm saying. Like I could
Six
get.
hundred $600 in 1920. You good for like, you know what I'm saying? You good for like 2, 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
You was
I'm
good
talking
for
about
me.
eating good. You got roof over your head.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, it was like 10 cents back then for like milk, a quarter of milk. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. So you was
Two
Guwap for a
pennies
while.
for an apple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You was good. You was Gucci for a little while. You know what I'm saying? So,
$2 was somebody's money for the week, and he was good with $2
hmm
back in the 20s.
Yeah.
So you getting $100, $600, you got a whole new suit. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Top hat to match
Yeah.
with the nice little buckle
Well,
watch, little pocket watch joint. You know what I'm saying? You pull it out.
mhm.
Okay, 8 pass. All right.
Yeah.
Put it back in your joint. You wait for your lady friend to get picked up. You know what I'm saying? And y'all out to the town, going to the cotton club or something. You know what I'm saying?
But not just the 20s. Like that's speed. That's age this to like let's say like the 60s, right? So we talking about because remember they were showing the numbers game in the movie in Malcolm X as well, and so we're talking about what mid 60s to late
Yeah, the
60s,
lottery didn't come into play till probably like the 80s.
right?
You know what I'm
So
saying? So the
so
number's been around
well,
up until like the 70s,
yeah,
probably late 70s, because the lottery didn't come, I want to say probably like 80s, somewhere in the 80s.
right, right. So but just the mindset, right? Because just the mindset that people were just happy, like, yo, Lord, I want $500 or $400. I'm good. Like even in the 60s, that's like, yo, I've just made enough money to make biscuits for the hood. You know what I mean? So it's just like people was comfortable getting that extra boost, you know, for that time. So which is dope. You know what I mean? So now it's like if it's not, you know, 16 $1 billion, then it's not even like worth it. It feels so.
I mean, they figure out a way to control it and get millions and millions of people to buy in. So now it's like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Free money.
yeah.
One of they good rackets that they got going on top of all the other rackets they got.
hmm
It's only legal when they say it's legal.
Yo, that's crazy because if you think about it, everything that we do in this country that's on in that frame, it's always been like that. Meaning, like for those who don't know, alcohol was outlawed. You couldn't have hooch. You know what I'm saying? So people until it was regulated, then you could have what they call alcohol and spirits and liquor stores. That wasn't something that was, you know, presently out and about in the 20s, 30s, 20s, I believe 20s, 30s, 40s. I think they let it go in the 40s or the 50s, late 40s, early 50s. I could be mistaken on the time. Could be mistaken on the alcohol time. But the fact of the matter is that once our country regulated alcohol, then we could sell it, right? Same thing y'all seeing with marijuana. Oh, marijuana is the worst drug in the world. You can't smoke weed or you smoking weed. I remember as a little kid, people smoking weed that had such a negative just view to that. Oh, you smoking weed, you smoking bud, this, that, and the third. It was just so negative. Now they got weed shops. You could taste different strands. You could smoke different. Now it's cool. Now it's okay that you know, each state has their own way of regulating it and for people to smoke it. And so it's like that with everything. Like we just talked about the numbers going into the lottery portion. So it's like that with everything that makes that type of money. So, you know, like you said, easy money. You know what I'm saying? What people Hernandez said to my man to Batman's character, he was like easiest money you ever gonna make. You know what I'm saying? Feel me?
That's a
Easiest
fact.
easiest money you ever gonna make. All right. For me, Hollywood need to ask me. I want to see a movie about the infamous dinner, the infamous meeting on hip hop, where they took. This was like in the late '80s, early '90s, where they took hip hop's most up and coming, most influential guys at that time, and they had a meeting. And within the meeting, it was ran by the heads of the music company and labels, and they basically said that there's going to be agenda on your music. We want your music to say this, and we want your music to say that. In return, the influence that you're going to have, we're going to make sure that you are financially taken care of and you're able to take care of your family. All you got to do is make the type of music that revs up a certain type of emotion in your own community that is based in negativity. So that's the movie I want to see. It was different artists that spoke about that particular um dinner, but they would never go into full detail. Never. None of the active participants that was at that meeting, as far as artists at the time, they never really spoke against it. They spoke on the meeting, but they never said in detail, it was this particular music producer, or it was this particular owner. It was me. It was this artist, that artist, this artist, that artist. We was all there, and this is exactly what they told us. We've only heard a bit here and a piece there. So I want to see the whole thing come together, something like the movie with Jim Brown. What was it? Jim Brown, Malcolm X, and I believe what's the singer name? Can't remember the singer name, but it was a night. It's a night
Oh,
in.
when they all like met up or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. I need something like that, but on the hip hop side. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Biggs in the building. Shout out to Wet Wet in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit that like button, y'all. It helps with the show. We love. But I want that type of style where whoever the artist was, because they said there were big name artists there at that time that had heavy influence on the culture. I want to see those artists come together, and I want to see and what and who was speaking of the negativity and basically the agenda of attacking people of color through music. So that's the movie I want to see. I want to see that movie.
That'd be a too dangerous movie to put together because it would be have serious implications and ramifications. Yeah, yeah. I
That's,
love to see it, but nah.
you said say that.
They'll rather release the Diddy tapes than release that because that is gonna have implications on corporate oligarchs and figures who have ties and their ears to government and society type of things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Because the entertainment industry has their hands in pretty much everything. You feel me? So for that to go about, because you gotta understand what they were trying to say, these so-called meetings. It was about private prisons, right? Building private prisons and filling them with so-called the the undesirables, right? And they're using music to do that. So that means that psychological warfare. Where would you get the idea for psychological warfare if it's not from, you know what I'm saying?
hmm
I'm not gonna say the names, but y'all gonna, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna have way deeper uh implications because it goes way too deep. So that would, yeah, they rather throw Diddy on the bus than do that because that it has nothing. What Diddy and them doing, as bad as it is child's play compared to the type of stuff that would severely reveal because it's way too deep. Because now it's like you got to call into question all the artists that have come since then,
Mm-hmm.
because wasn't Diddy just coming up in the late 80s, early 90s when the supposed meeting came about?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And
And
think
up and comer and all that.
and think of the state of hip hop at that time, right? We had like our biggest artist was more education artists at that time.
Public Enemy, we had MC Hammer. Everything was about some power dynamic, understand where you come from. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah,
all of a sudden, it was a whole switch where you started to see certain artists. I don't remember their names, but you started to see them trying to go that gangster route, and it just wasn't working. It's like,
yeah,
are you not a gangster rapper? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I remember seeing and no dissing them because they're legendary, but I don't know if you remember CL not CL Smooth. It was oh god, CL Smooth. I think it was CL Smooth. Hold up, it was I think it was CL Smooth. I think it was CL Smooth, and I forget the other half of their name because it was two dudes, and they was straight hip hop bouncing. They was straight good vibes, and then they just switched to straight gangster rap. You know what I mean? So damn, I'm gonna look it up now. CL Smooth, because I want to
And
be.
that also showcases that's probably when hip hop sold its soul, if you really think about it.
Hmm.
Because I was on one movement, and then now you have this meeting, and then y'all all convert to this other movement. That really means that you was at a whoever was at the precipice of that meeting to represent hip hop, to be the voice of hip hop, whoever that was, sold hip hop out.
Hmm.
Because every artist after that, you have to placate this image.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Cause we've heard DJ. What's the DJ on the West Coast from Oakland? Um, and he had the curls in his hair. DJ Quick. DJ Quick had mentioned this particular meeting, but he's never spoke in detail about this particular meeting. It wasn't CL Smooth. It was uh, Nice and Smooth. I don't know if you remember Nice and Smooth. Nice and Smooth was straight good vibes, party vibes. My brother was always busting bumping Nice and Smooth, and all of a sudden they got with Death Row and started dropping gangster music.
And
But
and,
they,
and
but
listen to the labels that black people get signed to: Death Row Records, Murder Inc. You know
bad,
what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah,
these are all part and parcel of that meeting.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I still be fired though.
Yeah, I think it would be great, but I didn't think of the implication. Um, I'm thinking more for historic reasons. Um, I would believe that type of movie, if they really made it, it will be probably one of the best movies to ever do it. But they will have to water it down, not to implicate certain people. And then, with that being the notion, why even do the movie at all? Because we want this thing truthful. We want this thing to be authentic. We want this thing to really fit. We want to feel not fit. Pause. We want to get the full experience of what that meeting had to offer, what it felt like, what it looked like, what the energy was, and to see the result of that. And and look where we're at today. I'm just saying, because each era it's elevated in a different type of way. Like when we first saw NWA, we was like, "Yo, what is this?" Right? But and then from NWA, it went to something else, and then it went to, we took Canadian style to from the drill, and then it's going to transform to something else. That's why music right now is really at a standstill because music has always since that time has thrived on more gangster type of style type of music, even though we've had dope music that's non-gangster related. Every era has dope music that's non-gangster related, but the driving force of hip hop for the longest have been gangster related type of music. And it's not because the music was better, it's because the music was being pushed by the companies and by the powers that be, that this record has to go for all intents and purposes. Why they take out life insurance policies on artists, knowing that the type of music that they put out is going to bring a type of energy back that is going to benefit the labels. If the artist dies and pass away, gets murdered, the labels reap the benefits of that in perpetuity forever. So, um, but I didn't think about what you said, man. Like, it would implicate a lot of different companies, a lot of different people that have their hands in this thing, and it would be a dangerous movie to watch. But I would love to see it. If anyone is brave to do it, and won't feel, or if there's a power structure who can do the movie and won't face that type of backlash, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it because and what I realized in everything that we have in our society in today, especially in the U.S., is all about power structure. If you have the right power structure, you can do anything, especially go against the grain. You could go against the grain if you got the power structure. If you got people that's going to back your play in your corner, like, yo, we're gonna press homie because he telling secrets about what he is supposed to tell or whatever. Like, oh, you want to press me? You know, if you press me, my boys over there got my back. Just like in the movie Blue Hill Avenue, when they wouldn't press, the main dude because the big dude had all the gangsters, so they had to send the pops to deal with the big dude in Blue Hill Avenue. So if you got a proper power structure, anything could be revealed and come out. So, but you're absolutely right, bro. I think it will be a fire movie. All right, moving on to our next segment, y'all. Our must see segment, must hear, must watch, or classic TV show. You want to start this one off?
Now you can go ahead.
All right, so my three must see movies, y'all. Fire movies. My first one came out in 2020. Oh, I'm bugging. All these is all these came out in 2003. That's great. 2003 was a great year for movies. All right, so 2003. This was directed by Ron Shelton. This stars Harrison Ford, Josh Hartnett, Isaiah Washington, Lena Orne, Master P, Anthony Mackie, Lou Diamond Phillips, and Lolita Davidovich. This movie is called Hollywood Homicide. Fire movie, and Corrupt. And Corrupt. The rapper Corrupt. It's called Hollywood Homicide. Fire movie about two Hollywood detectives. It's so funny. One detective sells houses on the side, and the other detective, he's trying to be a full blown actor. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to
type of detectives are these?
he's
You like
trying to
carrying them, you know what I'm saying?
he try to get into the movies, you know what I'm saying? But they solving hardcore murders though in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? And y'all gotta see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it. Tap into, and it's a must see, y'all. Again, Hollywood Homicide. My second must see movie came out in 2003, like I said, directed by Carl Franklin. This stars Denzel Washington, Eva Mendes, Sanaa Lathan, Dean Cain, and John Billingsley. This movie is called Out of Time. Fire classic movies, one of my favorite Denzel Washington movies. He's a police officer, I believe in Miami, not Miami, but in the Florida, somewhere in Florida. Um, he has a case where that gets crazy, and he ends up getting the drug money from the case. And his girlfriend on the side, him and his girlfriend on the side made plans to watch the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all, so make sure you tap into Out of Time. My third must see movie came out again in 2003, directed by Peter Berg. This stars The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Sean W. Scott, Christopher Walken, and Rosario Dawson. This movie is called The Rundown. Fire movie. This movie is about a cook who trying to get his chef on, but he also freelance as a fixer of such. He go gets things that's he's like some sort of like repossessor. You know, he doubles as that, but mind you, he's a chef. You know what I'm saying? He chefs it up. You know what I mean? And so his employer says, "Yo, I need you to go get something for me, and you got to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all. I'm not going to spoil it. So make sure you tap into the rundown. So again, that's Hollywood Homicide. That's out of time. I said out of town, out of time, and there's the rundown. So make sure y'all see those three movies. So any of those stick out to you?
I definitely want to say the rundown. Yeah, definitely the rundown for sure. I chat. Y'all already know how I do. I always have a theme for mine. So today is no different than last episode. So my theme is cult movies, but this theme is one must be sacrificed. So you
Mm,
watch each one of the movies to find out who's getting sacrificed and why they getting sacrificed, right? So my
hmm
first movie on the list is called Hereditary. Came out 2018. Stars Tony Collette, Alex Wolff, Millie Shapiro, Gabriel Bryan, Ann Dowd, Mallory Beachel, Bree and Rachel, Colleen Chalant, and Christy Summer Hayes. About a family with a terrible, terrible curse and just bad things just constantly happen to them. And you just gotta watch the movie to find out who gets sacrificed in this family. Crazy movie. You won't be disappointed for sure. Next movie on the list is called The Wicker Man. Came out 2006. Stars Nicolas Cage, Kate Beecham, Helen Bernstein, Molly Parker, Lily Sobieski, James Franco, Monique Ganderton, Francis Conroy, Diane Delaney, and Zemfira Gosling. About a detective who's tasked with finding a missing girl, and he tracks her down to this island, and you got to watch the rest of the movie and find out who gets sacrificed. Crazy, crazy plot. Definitely will leave you on the edge of your seat until the end of the movie for sure. And last movie on the list is one of my favorites because it explains why they do the sacrifice. This movie is called The Believers. Came out in 1987. Stars Martin Sheen, Harley Cross, Carla Pinza, Jimmy Smith, Robert Lagai, Mary Ann Quintana, Helen Shaver, Elizabeth Wilson, and Richard Masur. About this family has a tragic accident, loses the wife. So father son moves to a new apartment, and he's like psychologist. And this new apartment he moves to is in the Upper East Side of New York, and it's in the upper echelon of society. But you gotta watch the movie to see who gets sacrificed. Don't be fooled because it's the upper echelon society, just like Buddy was fooled. You know what I'm saying?
Top tier society.
Top tier, upper echelon, they still want to sacrifice. So this movie for sure is underrated, and they don't play it like that. It's a throwback movie, so you gotta find this movie. It's a classic one. So my occult movies, aka One Must Be Sacrificed, are The Believers, Hereditary, and The Wicker Man.
Fire movies. Fire movies. Hereditary, my drink though. Hereditary, my drink. Wicker Man's a classic. Wicker Man's a classic. All right, y'all. Moving on to our must hear. All right, so I got three bona fide hitters for that must hear. I do a theme for the music now because y'all like it that way. Y'all like when I give y'all three particular songs from an artist. So my artist that I'm picking today, R&B style, Faith Evans, fire music. So I'm giving y'all three bona fides of Faith Evans today. Number one, put this on your list, y'all. Number one, Ain't Nobody. Number two, Faithfully. Number three, Hope featuring Twister. Again, number one, Ain't Nobody. Number two, Faithfully. Number three, Hope featuring Twister. So make sure y'all tap into those songs, put them on your Faith Evans playlist. All right, moving on to classic show or must see show. You want to start this one off?
Definitely a must see show. Only got 3 seasons because it was too heavily deep in symbolism, and it was one of them shows that was just too hot for TV, and it was just dropping too many gems, so they just had to get rid of it. But while it was on, it was called American Gods, and it came out in 2017. You can catch it on Stars. As stars Ricky Whittle, Neil Gowan, Yeti Badaki, Ian McShane, Orlando Jones, Bruce Langley, Brian Fuller, Pablo Chabrera, Emily Browning, and Gillian Anderson. Again, like I said, it's a show heavily deep in mysticism, symbolism, mythology, and it's just a real good program. And I wish they had like more seasons, but you get 3 seasons, and each episode is just top tier shit. So you're definitely gonna have a good time watching American Gods, and you can catch it on Stars.
Fire. Make sure y'all check out American Gods. Mines is also a must see. It's not a classic because it was only on for one season. Mines was only on for one season altogether. But this one season was so classic, so funny. So my must see show was an anime. One season came out in 1996. It's called Waynehead. It stars Shawn Waynes, Marlon Waynes, Kim Waynes, Takia Crystal, Orlando Brown, Tico Wells, John Witherspoon, Gary Coleman, and also Damon Wayans. Fire movie about a young kid from the projects. They got his friends. They all up and down the neighborhood, and it's just a funny anime to watch. It's so good. I was so mad when they took this show off as a kid. This show was so funny, and I used to look forward to this show so much. So make sure y'all check out Waynehead. You got Cologne for us?
Oh, definitely got cologne for y'all. Hold on, let me grab my notes real quick.
Big said that's a fact. Waynehead was popping, right? That show was popping.
So definitely got cologne for y'all. So if you look good, you feel good, you smell good, you're gonna do good. So this time around, definitely want to mess with fragrance. Well, I'll take that at my fault, y'all. I had wrote it down, forgot where I wrote it down.
Yeah, fellas, make sure y'all get y'all some good smell goods. This is why we do this every episode. Give y'all some smell goods to get right. You know what I'm saying? Because I had this conversation with somebody the other day. I said, "Yo, if your woman don't look at you like you the dude, then you need to get rid of her." Like I've heard a woman say, "Oh, that's Idris Elba." So if I see Idris Elba, then you know what I'm saying. I basically got an unspoken hall pass, and I'm like, "Yo, you let your woman like have that type of mindset. You're like yo, you need a different type of woman. If your woman don't look at you like you her Idris Elba, or like if you're not the flyest dude in the world to her, then that's a problem. I mean, having that smell go accentuate the, you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, if your woman don't treat you, look at you like you the apple in her eye, the flyest dude, the best smelling dude, then get rid of her. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you think, bro? Like, you think a woman should have a hall pass because it's the celebrity that she like and think it's cute?
I mean, if that's what she wants, that's what she wants. Ain't gonna be my woman, but I'm saying that's a prerogative. That's a prerogative. But I ain't never gonna choose no woman like that.
Facts.
It's gonna be my woman. But while I'm doing what I do, I'm gonna be wearing the fragrance from room 1015. And you need that, you know what I'm saying? It's called wave chop. So you want to mess with my wave, you gotta come to room 1015. You know what I'm saying? 2 dabs of that, and you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be on this wave. So get you that bottle, room 1015. The fragrance is called Wave Child. And if she ain't on your program, you know what I'm saying, change the channel.
You said it's called wave chop. So, or not love chop because I got sue somebody. Oh, you said
Nah,
wave.
Wave Child, you know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
all right. I thought they was trying to use my name in the smell good game. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all get y'all bottle that. But yo, fellas, I'm serious about that, yo. If your woman don't look at you like you the apple of her eye, that you the ish, that you the like when she see the dude that she like, that's a celebrity actor or whatever, it's like, oh, he's handsome, pause, or he looks all right or whatever, but you the dude, you the star in her eyes. That's what matters. That's the point that I'm making. So if you don't got one like that, then get rid of her. Trust me. There's more women than men out there. You can find one that's gonna appreciate you and be on your wave. Make sure you smell good, make sure you get that wave child, but still be on your wave, yo. When I heard that the other day, I fainted, bro. I was like, what the fuck? What the hell? Like, this is what you at? Couldn't be me. All right, moving on, y'all, to our next segment. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get classic movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure at $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. I am the Terry Crews of my wife's eye. She call you Cheeseburger Eddie. She call you Cheeseburger Eddie. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. First hot topic of the night. Baltimore mayor. Baltimore mayor. Uh, I wrote his name down. Now I gotta look for it before I say this. I wrote it down, but I left it out. What's going on? Baltimore mayor. Okay, Baltimore mayor Brandon Scott said America doesn't deserve black women or black people. And y'all know me, I hate saying the word black. So, but I had to say it how he said it. So, what do you think about that?
What does he mean by that?
He said it on the heels of the loss of Kamala Harris in the presidential election and how he feels America has treated us as a people and black women as a whole too.
I mean, I don't know, because it's like it's an empty statement. You know what I'm saying? It like really doesn't mean nothing. Like, and that's the thing about the so-called politician. When it comes to us, it's always empty statements and jumbled words that in context it may mean something at that time, but when you pull back and look back at it later on, it's like, all right, what are we supposed to do with that? You know what I'm saying? Can I go to the bank, cash that, get some bread for it? Can I open a business with it? Can I put that down for a mortgage on a home? Can I get some land for it? You know what I'm saying? So what are we talking about? Are you going to talk about the misclassification of black people? And that's one of the main reasons that we currently still stumbling to this day. Are you going to talk about that? Nah, you're going to still perpetuate the same image that these so-called people in America are these quote unquote black people, which don't mean nothing. It's a misnomer, a misclassification. It holds no weight. It has no legal standing in law. Let's talk about that first. Well, you can't do that because you one of the people that are paid to keep it quiet, just like that meeting with the entertainment industry. That's why I talk about it goes deeper than that. Because a lot of people sign contracts to keep secrets so they could get paid to keep the secret alive. Keep the lie alive. You
The life.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you get the big bucks. You think Diddy knows how to sell liquor? No. It's about keeping your mouth shut. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we pay you $60 million a year. Oh, now you don't want to keep your mouth shut? All right, now we got the Supreme Court on your ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you saying that means nothing at the end of the game, at the end of the day, because it's an empty statement. So we not jacking these empty statements no more. Make it mean something.
Mm-hmm.
And you talking about Baltimore, like tell black people in Baltimore, you ain't what you doing for them?
One of the most melanated cities that you could think of. Like, what are we talking about?
And you close to DC. You can't get bread out of DC to help with programs. And what are we talking about? So you, as a city mayor, you're saying that you're not getting funding from the federal government to help your city. Is that what you're saying? I think it's time you need to bow down, holler at Trump. You know what I'm saying? Get a meeting with bro. You know what I'm saying? Talk about how much the deficit is in Baltimore. See, he could write you a check. That's what you need to do.
So, where they gonna meet at though?
Oh, you won't have to go to the White House. You don't have to take a ticket number. You know what I'm saying? Wait for his name to be called. You heard?
Yeah, they not going to the White House. They going to Nebraska. They gotta meet up at the Gills Mills.
We'll talk about what they need to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Last time Trump went to the Gills Mills, he got caught up, so he can't go to the Gills Mills no more.
But I'm saying though, his man's brought him a car and everything. Like, from him and his man's. You know what I'm saying?
A whole gift in the nine?
Yo, gift to the nine. A whole gift to the nine, yo. Damn, yo. We see this playbook year in, year out when somebody's trying to elevate their profile. When someone is trying to elevate their profile, especially a brother of color, he uses the women to do it. And the way to use the women to do it is placate. Obviously, this man is married and has children. We all have women in our life. You don't have to say this to get the women in your life to look at you as an upstanding man, an upstanding citizen, somebody who is worth being led by. At the end of the day, when you hear this sentiment, regardless of if when he's saying it on the wake of the presidential election, that
How
you know,
long how long he been a mayor?
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know.
How long is tenure?
He's the 52nd mayor of Baltimore.
No, I'm saying like how long he's been in office.
I don't know how
I'm trying
long.
to figure out if he was in office during Biden and Harris administration.
I'm not sure. He could have been. He could have been.
Because if he was under the Biden and Harris administration and you ain't asked them for bread, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
He's in office.
he could have been. He could have been. But at the end of the day, it's like you're doing all this for what? You're trying to raise a profile. You're doing this on the wake of the presidential election. Didn't the world doesn't deserve a black woman or us as a people. What? First of all, when you say that, you're implicating that we're not from here. You're implicating that we're not Americans when you make that blanket statement. People of color, melanated folks are American. You're born here, you're American. We just have Americans that happen to be melanated and some Americans are not. All people of color, all melanated folks did not come from Africa. So when you say blanket statements like that, even though he didn't say Africa, but when you say that America don't deserve us, then who deserves Americans? We American. So who deserves us? Our country deserves us, which is America. Which is America. Now, has that country backhand slapped us a whole bunch of times? Absolutely. And that's mainly because we don't have a power structure, which I alluded to earlier. We don't have power structure because in the melanated culture is mainly separated, it's mainly individual based. We don't have a power structure of people that say, yo, I make this amount of money, I make this amount of money. This is what we could do locally. That we can't even get together for a building fund or being in the same building. Yeah, I live on 3C, you live on 2H, you live on, 6-5. And as building people, we need to, come up with the guidelines and keep the building safe, keep the building clean, and just have a nice building. Something as simple as that. We got a whole bunch of millionaires in all these different sports, but there's still no power structure. And that's just the bottom line on why people of color, melanated folks, get the short end of the stick. That's the only reason why we don't have a power structure. There's nobody that's there as a whole, as a power structure that people have to answer to when when we get done wrong. Whether that's in politics, whether that's in police, police policing, whether that's in financials, there is no power structure. What we get is the quote unquote celebrities on who they feel is going to have influence, and they pay those people so people could follow what they're doing. And so, just so happily, people are influenced by that, knowing that they don't have a clue on what's going on behind closed doors. They just being told to come in. You think, and this is no diss to her, but do y'all think Cardi B knows about politics? But she was given a speech to say, and horribly, might I add, she did it horribly, but she has influence, and they know that. And because they know that, but they know also that people are going to watch her and be like, oh yeah, then I'm going to do this because Cardi B is standing next to them, even though she doesn't know nothing about politics. This is why I love the Dave Chappelle line on the show where he's like, when something happens, we got to get Ja Rule on the line. It's like, somebody get Ja to make sense of this. But it's so perfect because nobody cares about what he thinks about this particular subject. We're not asking for about music. We're asking about something that's going on in the society. And there's no diss to Ja Rule, but his specialty hasn't been politics. Is the point that I'm making. So this is no diss to him neither. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we live in this world where we got people that just say blanket statements, and they're blanket statements that don't make no sense. You be wondering, like, damn, why did they say that? Why did they say that? And it's off the heels of the election, and it's off the heels of what we've been going through as a country. If you really feel that way, then you should have a burning desire to be a part of a power structure that benefits people that look like me and you. Simple and plain. And this is the mayor of Baltimore, Brandon Scott. Brandon Scott. Mr. Brandon Scott, if you really feel that way, then you should be a part of a power structure that benefit people that look like me and you. And if you're not putting something like that together on any type of level, then you should not be saying that. Because again, you're implying that America is not ours. America is ours. It's not just ours by itself, but it's ours. So don't play the game where it's like, oh well, like we're better off somewhere else. How are we gonna leave our home? This is our home. This is where we bleed. This is where we cry. This is where we sweat. This is where we build at. This is where our ancestors build at. Our ancestors built this country. We was born in this country. Our lineage is in this country. So when you make statements like that that doesn't have a real definition or course to action, then it brings up more question, and people could see through the agenda that you're trying to put through. I'm moving on to our next hot topic. New York City has announced that it will no longer issue vouchers to migrants to pay for food. What do you think about that?
We're showing that the well done dried up. That was the whole scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like that. At the end of the day, you never really had to participate anyway. But because the money was there, you burnt up all the money. But you could have took the money, negated the migrants, and used the money for the city. So now there ain't no more money, ain't no need for no migrants.
Mm.
Now they gotta go.
Mm.
But what was the point of bringing him here in the first place? So that's the whole point of the Biden-Harris administration. So when people are in an uproar because Harris didn't win, it's like, do you not understand the type of bullshit that was going on up
Mhm.
under your nose? Like, so you was gonna let that continue for another 4 years? Like, yo, y'all tripping. Then want to complain that there's no more money. Well, the money I was supposed to go to you went to them because you voted for them niggas to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why you mad?
Mm-hmm.
This is the end result. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just funny now. Now there's no more money, no need for migrants because they were trying to pull a hootenanny on y'all. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't work. Now they gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. Because how they gonna help people that came from 1,000 miles away, but they can't help the dude that's right on the street corner
That been there.
that been there, fell on hard times.
Mm-hmm.
But you gonna help somebody that coming 3,000 miles away? Come on, make that make sense, though.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
And I think the biggest misconception about people who are homeless, like they have some sort of beginning. People just don't just be homeless. Like, you know what I mean? They're homeless for a reason. They had a car, they had a home, they had this, they had that. Had. They needed help. They reached out to this person, reached out to that person, and there was nothing left. So nobody can help nobody, but you can help people that's not from this country with no problems. $80 billion,
I mean,
easy.
that's again, that's I don't want to go tit for tat, left side, right side, but that's always been the ploy of the Democrats. It's just always been their game. Like, you know what I'm saying? People don't even understand their history. We was founded on a republic. Majority of our melanated ancestors were Republicans.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
what are we talking about? That's what everything is about. It's about the republic.
Mm-hmm.
So to add to your power structure, if we, well, if they never had shut down the Freedmen's Bureau and the Freedmen's Bank, because those were the institutions that was there after the Reconstruction that allowed a lot of communities to come up, because they created pretty much a community center back then that was like um infrastructure, because there was freedmen bureaus and banks in every major community in the melanated communities. That's how all these cities in North Carolina, South, Georgia, these cities that had massive amounts of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Saying like these communities had major dollars.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about black owned communities where they had the damn post office to the damn garbage man, all black, everybody making money. But then when they shut down the Freedmen's Bureau and the bank, now we have to go to them. We
Mm-hmm.
have to go subjugate to their rules, their redlining, their hatred, because we ain't had to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
So if they reopen that power structure again, maybe we can have a real third political power that's really just for us. And then maybe, just maybe, with a three party system could tip the scales a little bit. This two-party shit ain't working. So if we have we have other parties, but them niggas ain't getting no bread and they ain't for us. So we need our joint really for us, by us, pushing all the way up to the White House.
But
I feel mhm.
go ahead. My bad, go ahead.
I feel the power structure like that, another political party where it's like-minded people will be like, you know what? I ain't rocking with Republicans or Democrats. I'm gonna rock over here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then
Yeah.
you get entertain the same goofy y'all doing right now. Do the same play. We're gonna get some entertainers out rocking with us. They gonna entertain over here. You know what I'm saying? Then
Mm-hmm.
when you get the players, then you get the billionaires because they like to party. You know what I'm saying?
They like the party.
They like to party. So the same game. I just feel it just needs another party system. Like this two-party joint is just crazy. It's always the same game, back and forth, back and forth. If it was another party, maybe it would tip the scales a little bit.
But you know me, as long as you know me, bro, I've always been an independent spirit. I've always wanted to. I've always looked at the game just different from everybody, and I just felt like we don't have to wait we could start this independently, and we could do it with our own dollars, even if the dollars ain't hundreds of millions or millions or whatever the case may be. It has to be something that's effective locally. And I've always had that spirit in anything that I've done. As long as you know me, whether it's business, whether it's sports, I've always had that spirit. Was like, yo, let's get together. Brothers picking up a book, we read. You know what I'm saying? We could get this together. And I've always felt like people was jacking it from the thought process, but when it really took cause to action, everybody was like, "Yeah, I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with this." It was always excuses. It was never no real like, "Yo, I could do this and I could do that." And it's always been an independent spirit, and that's just air and the energy that we just have within the culture that we really need to get rid of and really need to shape in order for us to get to the next level as a community, as a country. We really need to have a power structure that is based in people having to deal with the power structure, having to deal with the fact that you have to put some respect on our name, but we have to have pride within our own power structure. That's like living in a building and only taking care of the inside of your house. But you live in a building. You got to take care of the steps. That's like walking on you leave your building, you leave your floor to walk down the steps, and there's piss all over the steps. It's like, damn. To the other neighbors, it's like, yo, but you live here too. You really want to tippy toe through pissy hallways? You really want to tippy toe through shitty hallways? Because that's your mindset if you only keep your house clean. We all keep this clean. Look at what we have. It's just a mindset. It's just a mindset in our culture it's just very negative. Anytime somebody in our culture that is somebody that's the leader or the owner, it it's like we're too accessible when somebody from our culture is the owner, because if the product is not right, they blame the owner, right? But when the product is not right in the other culture, they blame the product, they blame the company, they blame the entity. You don't even know the name. Like we talk about Tubi all the time, but Tubi is owned by a person. We could talk about Netflix all the time, but Tubi is owned by somebody. I mean, Netflix is owned by somebody. But we talk about Netflix, we won't talk about the person who owned Netflix. But within our culture, we talk about Diddy, but we won't talk about the company. So our power structure is so lacking, and we need that so bad for us to be better. So I mean, just looking at this whole situation, I'm glad that the vouchers is drying up. I'm glad that they're going to send the immigrants back, because in my mind, there should be more resources for people that is here. And what about the people that actually did the process of being in this country? And they went through a long, stringent process to be a U.S. citizen. So now, what are you telling those people who had went through the process, and now you have people that just skipped the line? Like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I done went through the process. And what about us, people that was born and raised here? What are you telling us? When people need a little help on their car insurance, when they need a little help on their rent, when they need a little help with a business loan that's in service to the community. This doesn't make any sense. So I'm hoping that's going to be the effect of that. Next hot topic: the actor Tony Todd, who's famously known for playing Candyman. I did not know this. Did you know that in order to play Candyman, they had ordered over 200,000 bees for the film, right? He had made a state in his contract that for every bee stung, he gets $1,000. So he ended up making an extra $27,000 for the movie. What do you think about that?
Oh damn! Like extra 27 grand. That's it to put your life on the line for a movie.
Yeah,
That's
extra 27 grand. Uh huh.
that's crazy. Things we do for bread, son. That's insane. How much was he really getting paid for that bread for that movie? They didn't think it was gonna be a cult classic like
Yeah,
that.
it wasn't.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It wasn't gonna. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
this movie was '92,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you know they ain't promoted like that crazy. So they ain't give Tony Todd extra heavy bag.
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just showcasing that.
Not that one. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just showcasing that because there's no other industry to challenge the movie industry as far as like paying talents what they're worth. This is what you end up with.
Hmm.
You gotta take what they give you. All right, for me to do it, I need an extra $1,000 per. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's just crazy to me. If I just wish we had another Hollywood or another entity that can rival them, make them act accordingly. Like, you know what? All right, he could leave at any moment. He's our biggest star, so we gotta give him what he wants.
Hmm.
But or better than, you're a dime a dozen. We can trade you, replace you anytime we want type. Because that seems like the type of contract that was.
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't worth two. Well, he was worth two times as much before they try to, waive him, trade him, whatever they gonna do. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I think of the famous scene when he had all the bees in his mouth, and he said there was a it was a some sort of plastic or something that was covering his mouth when they had the bees coming out his mouth. But yeah, so that was also in the contract that for every bee stung he gets an extra $1,000 per. That first movie, I would be remiss to say that he maybe made 50 to 100 grand on that first movie, and then the second and third they were ass movies, but by that time the profile of the Candy Man had risen, and I'm pretty sure he made a decent penny. I wouldn't say millions, but he made more than what that first movie paid him. Because, like you said, ain't nobody thought that was going to be a cult classic at all. So, but I thought that was very interesting. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Jaleel White, actor that plays Urkel, Steve Urkel, revealed the reason why he turned down the Family Matters reboot. So he's turned it down. Everybody's been asking for a Family Matters reboot. I think it will be legendary and classic. Everybody is still here. Everybody is coherent. Everybody's acting. Um, but he turned it down because he felt like it would be a better story on telling his story, and his story was about a young kid that got into acting, stumble up on this show, and the show takes off. But the show takes off because of him. It wasn't the fact, like, because remember when they did Family Matters, the star of the show was supposed to be the mother and Carl Winslow, because Carl Winslow's character was based off of what's the movie Die Hard, and then the mother's character was based on Perfect Strangers, the hit TV show. So now when they do, the show was a good show, but now when they bring in this character that now it turned everything all the way up to a whole nother level, he feels like there's a better story on telling that story opposed to continuing the same story of Family Matters. What do you think about that?
No, I think he's right because the climate of how this whole Diddley thing is going on. You know what I'm saying? It'd be very intriguing to see what was going on behind the scenes with that scenario. Because you gotta understand, these actors that were playing the mother and the father role, they've been acting for years. So they must have type. I don't care how professional you are, you can't now come into a situation where your paycheck is now stringent upon this young kid.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So you as a seasoned actor, your pride and ego ain't gonna take it so well. So they probably might have been unjustly fair to the kid behind scenes. They probably might have did fucked up shit to the kid. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So rather relive that shit, talk a different story. He
Mm.
don't want to play Steve Urkel no more because he's gonna have to relive all those traumas again. whatever they may be. Because you gotta really look at it. Yes, that's true. This kid comes in and takes this show by storm, and overnight he's a sensation.
Mm-hmm.
And then for him to be able to try to um accept all that new responsibility of being a huge TV star, you know what I'm saying? On top of the fact your coworkers probably making your workspace hard, you know what I'm saying? You understand this is a job.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're on TV and it look good, no, you got this is a 9 to 5, and they don't get paid 9 to 5, but
Right.
life is dependent on your job and how well you perform. So if you constantly coming to work and there's always some issue because somebody feels some type of way because you taking they shine, but that's not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta check their ego at the door. But you know what I'm saying? We all human at the end of the day. So I feel them. I don't think you would want to tell this story. I think it's a different story that we need to be told. There's a whole lot of shit that needs to be told out here. And like we not with the foo-foo no more. Like tell the other story. Tell the other side. You know what I'm saying? Why ain't that girl never came down the stairs no more? What happened to the little girl from Family Man? Why she ain't never come down the stairs?
They said it was because of Jaleel White. They said Jaleel White basically got rid of her.
That's what they saying, but that don't even make no sense. How a little kid gonna tell all these people, these handlers, what to do?
I'm saying,
Come
but
on, son.
that's what they're saying.
That's what they spin in the story. You can't tell me a little kid coming in here, he firing adults. You can't tell me that, man. Now when you got, if that's the case, then how they let the director of Nickelodeon play with all them kids? If the kids got the power.
Mm.
Right? If the kids got the power, then wouldn't they say, "Yo, this person such and such is doing things I'm not approving of," and they'll get rid of him. So that goes to show you they ain't got no damn power. They just spinning the story that say he the one that did that. How he gonna be the one doing that? He
Mm.
just happy that he got the opportunity. So I'd love to see something different.
Well, this is something I've heard. Well, it's two people that said this, right? Well, three. There's Orlando Brown. Yeah, he says a lot of outlandish statements. But there's also the character that played Judy, Jamie Foxworth. She
Mhm.
said that there was like a real strained relationship between her and Jaleel White on set, and so those are two out of three people, and then the third was one of the producers. They did like a behind the scenes of Family Matters, and he wasn't a producer, he was one of the writers, and he was basically taking credit for Family Matters, saying like, yeah, so I wrote these characters, and it came to life because how I wrote it. Like you should have seen like when I first thought of Steve Urkel. Like in my mind, I was like, "Yeah, he gonna have classes." Like he was talking like
Mhm.
he,
Talking a big you know what I'm saying? Talking a big game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, like he threw the sauce in the joint, like, and it's like, yo, your pin game was not that litty, my man. So I'm just going. I just want to be fair based on what they said, and they trying to spin it a certain way, but then they also had um a reunion with everyone except for Jamie Foxworth, which is the girl that played Judy. She was the only person that wasn't present, and nobody would say or speak on why she wasn't present. So,
Again, so it's a lot of other stories y'all could tell. We don't want the continuation. It's like tell something else.
mhm.
And I'm with him on that. Tell something else, like for real.
Well, the kid in me wants the nostalgia. I'm not gonna lie. The kid in me wants the continuing story to see, how him and Laura marriage has progressed, and the rest of the family. Even if it's just for a season, I would have been interested in seeing that. I'm glad that they actually gave them the opportunity to want to do that show because, quite frankly, that show was bigger than Full House to me. Even though Full House was a great show, it was a big show, but Family Matters was upper echelon, type tier on a whole nother level for me personally. So I would have loved to see the continuation. I'm not going to act like if they didn't have the show that I wouldn't have watched because if they would have continued it or if they would have rebooted, I would definitely be sitting in on first day like, yo, what's happening in this episode. So me personally, I would have loved to seen that. Based on what he's saying, I will want to see a visual of what he's talking about on what they're going to talk about more in depth. What he spoke on this, it'll sound interesting, but it just sounds more so that he just doesn't want to play Steve Urkel. That's just all it sounds like to me. That he has no interest in playing Steve Urkel. He's been Steve Urkel all his life. People see him as Steve Urkel all his life throughout. Because you gotta remember, those like Family Matters was late '80s, probably like late '90s, almost like 10 years. And then when you have the rewatch, the reruns, those reruns live on forever. So people are always going to see him as that. And I get it, but I ain't gonna front. The kid in me would love to see a reboot, but he that's the reason why he turned it down. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said that social media is harming our kids and calling a ban for children 16 and under to be on social media. What do you think about that?
I would say a ban is kind of harsh. I would definitely say you need to find other programs, find other things to occupy the kids' time. Because if you take away social media, what are you going to occupy their time with? You got to fill the void. You're talking about programs for after school programs, like what, like training programs? Are you offering something? No, you just saying ban social media. So I don't even think that's correct unless you added something else in there. Because banning social media, I get it, but if you're not putting something else in front of them, then what are we talking about? They're gonna find something else. So
Well,
rather than leave them to their own devices, I would say suggest more after school programs, more things that kids want to be interested in, and find programs to create that interest for them. If you don't want social media, how about you create a program that teaches kid more about the ins and outs about social media, the good and bad about it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just taking away is just crazy to me. It's like, come on, like this is just arcane thinking. Like you gotta think better than this. We got Chat GPT now. Like, come on, that's the
Hmm.
best you can come up with. You don't got no other program. Nah, not even kickball. You know what I'm saying? Like kickball, hella fun. We still got the adults playing kickball. You can't make a program for have kids playing kickball. So just ban social media. That's it.
I'm saying I don't know they get down in Australia, but I feel the sentiment. I mean, we grew up without social media, so this thing's to take up time if things are created for that. Um, I agree with you in a sense where if you're going to take social media, it has to be like what's the
If you think about our social media back in the day was TV, right?
true,
So
very true.
your mom took away your TV. What'd you do to occupy your time? You had
I
to
went
find something,
outside.
right?
I went outside.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So you take away social media, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna go outside. Ain't shit outside for them, but the same shit, unless you put other shit outside for them to go to. Oh, I forgot. Y'all don't got no bread because you sent it all the way over there. You don't got no money, baby. You broke. Remember? So what we talking about here? First learn how to put the money in the bag, then
Then
get the
get
money. You know what I'm saying?
yo. That's a fact. But I feel a sentiment though. I feel a sentiment because social media, if you don't have a strong hold on your kids, and social media got them.
We got a little technical difficulty. Oh, are you back?
You got me?
Yeah.
Pause. So I mean, I spoke about it on last episode where there's a disconnection and we don't know where it's coming from with parenting, where the lesson is not being equated to what's happening because kids think there's another side where they're, either right or their feelings has to be validated or has to be this and has to be that, where to the point where they think killing their parents and killing the whole household is another, like, that's an option. So we have to find the disconnect between parents and children, but they got to have something to occupy their time. I mean, for us growing up, it was different because we was always outside. I was always outside, always. So at the end of the day, I mean, I don't see it being far fetched, but you got to give them something to do. Got to give them something to do, especially with this generation. I think it's more realistic if you do it to the babies and they grow up without having social media. That makes more sense. But it's harder to have a whole generation of social media babies, and now that they 14, they can't have access to social media until another 2 years. That sounds wild. So you know, I'm gonna keep my ears to the streets on this one. But this is what he's doing in Australia. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Captain America got their new trailer out. The Brave New World coming out 2025, which they're introducing the Red Hawk. That's being played by Harrison Ford, and they have John Carlo Esposito. He's playing. I forget the character he's playing, but uh, the the preview that they showed looked fire. He looked like he's killing his role as he always do. What do you think about that?
I mean, look, mid. I mean, like Marvel needs to start playing around and just really put out the real game and stop playing, put out the mutants. I don't care for these sidebar characters. I never cared for Falcon when I was in the comics. I never cared for Captain America. I damn sure never cared for the Avengers. In the comic book era of Marvel, Avengers was not people's comic books that they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
imagine still pushing this shit like niggas was rocking with Marvel. I mean, rocking with the Avengers heavy like that. Like, nah, it was in the late, maybe in the late 2000s when the Marvel was really doing this thing. It was all about the X-Men and the mutants. You know what I'm saying? So this looked mid. I mean, it's whatever. I'm gonna just watch it anyway, but I'm not gonna be like. It's really for John Carlo because I'm happy to see him do his thing. It's really for him
Hmm.
honestly, because he's been doing his thing for a long time. He kills all his roles, and whatever role he's playing in this, he's gonna kill it again. So I'm really going to see him for this. That's really honestly the real reason I'm going to see this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time, no matter what movie he's in, he always kills it, gives a different spin. But I always see
Are
him.
you a Gamma man? I'm never gonna forget that. Gamma man, don't break.
Yo,
All
nah,
his roles, I don't care, son.
nah, but for me though, I always see him as dude from Fresh when he's playing what was Hector? He's playing Hector.
The
He's
Dominican.
the drug lord. Like he's like, I own you. He's like, I own the drug. I own the plata the plata. So I am his master. So if I'm his master, then you are mine. Like he's saying this with the one button, the chest out, the fan hitting the chest shirt, like, and he a drug lord,
On a
and he
hot summer day, you know that New York air was hot, son.
and, and as a drug lord, he's caressing her side, and like, yo, son, like, yo, this dude is, yo, next level, bro. Yo, next level. His characters is always stand out, bro. So I'm looking forward to seeing him do his thing, and I'm a big Harrison Ford fan. So him playing the Red Hawk, he actually looked like he bodies the Red Hawk character. I'm not even gonna hold you. So I'm looking forward to him doing his thing, man. I'm actually looking forward to seeing it. It looks dope. It looks dope. And they're introducing the Red Hawk. I'm tired of the Green Hawk. Ever since Thanos put hands on this man, he has not wanted no type of beef at all. Like he ain't trying to fight nobody. He trying to pick up a book and read and learn new formulas and figure this thing out. He don't want no more smoke, like, at all. Like, so I'm looking forward to seeing the Red Hawk. Pause. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Venom, Carnage, Scream, Stockton, Riot, and Anti Venom. Yeah, they messed up that whole series. Like Venom was decent. I didn't see the third one yet. Venom was first one was all right. Second one was pure ass. So this third one, people said it was good, but I'm a like because they really waste Carnage. I think Woody Harrelson is a hellified actor, and his direction from that movie on how they had him play Carnage was just dog shit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it was terrible. So I'm. But yeah, they wasted that. Jim Carrey should have played Carnage. Look, I'm not mad at Woody Harrelson playing Carnage. I'm not mad at like Jim Carrey. I don't know if he would have made a better Carnage. I don't know. I can't agree with that. I prefer Woody, pause, but his direction was doodle. Like it was like, what are we doing? It was terrible, terrible, terrible. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. At least 43 monkeys escaped from the research lab in South Carolina. What do you think about that? They've recovered. No, they haven't recovered any, and they have they injected them with some sort of translucent. So they have really light fur where it's harder to see them in out in public. So it's going to be really hard to find them. What do you think about that?
So niggas is making invisible monkeys out here? Like what the hell? What type of who's funding these operations? Like what the like, come on, dog. Like, yo, seriously, son? Like you
Yeah,
were here trying to make I understand the experimentation and then the actual application for further uses, but damn, son.
yeah,
Like this can't be real life, son.
yeah.
Don't catch them. You
Yeah.
can't see them. I hope you made some glasses so you can see the motherfuckers or something.
You
I hope
gonna
you put some chemical isotope that only could be spotted with this type of frame because it sees an infrared or something. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have a backup for your backup. You know what I'm saying?
and the backup for that,
Just in case. You know what I'm saying? So you just all betting on the translucent monkeys for it to be all right. And now they might escape one day and have a backup. Who's
Yo,
cutting text for y'all, son? Come on, son. I don't even have no degree, but at least I would have thought of something like that. Like if I made translucent some that's invisible, I need to make sure that one I could find it.
yeah,
So let me have some glasses or something.
some sort of
That,
trap, yeah, something.
you know what I'm saying? Something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you find the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
And it's in South
Hey,
Carolina.
as South Carolina, they understand South Carolina is huge. It's
Yeah,
swamps, it's forests. They gone. You know what I'm
it's a
saying?
wrap.
It's
A
over
wrap.
with.
Yeah, it's a
They out
wrap.
there. And the
And then
forest, they gone, son.
and now they translucent on top. On top of that. Now, what if you walking in the woods and catch a monkey knuckle and you just don't know where it's coming from? Just wild monkey knuckles. Pause.
That's terrible. Somebody was hating. Like they probably cut their funding. Now they're like, you know what? I'm gonna hate. I'm gonna open the gates and just let them out.
And this is very Pacific. They said 43,
43. You know what I'm saying? That's just not 40, not 25, but
40.
43.
So
But that's
somebody
all of them, or that's just some of them that you let.
they didn't say whether it was all or some.
Of
They
course
just
not. You know what I'm saying? They just said, all right, we're gonna release 43, and then
43.
you know what I'm
See
saying?
what?
We might get our funding back again. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, bro, that makes a whole lot of sense. If you try to get your funding, yo, we're gonna release
One,
40,
they cut the funding for the migrants. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna cut your budget too.
43 monkeys just out here,
Just,
and
just you know what
they
I'm
kind
saying?
they kind of see through. We've been feeding it Doritos, just straight Dorito diet, so they kind of see through.
This the money that the defense pays, cuts checks for.
Yeah.
Translucent monkeys.
And for people that don't know, the reason why I say Doritos is because Doritos have an ingredient. If you eat too much Doritos, your skin gets lighter. It's a fact because they have the chemicals of I forget the exact chemicals, but the chemical makes you lighter. So you basically, I don't know if you turn invisible, but you know it's some sort of chemical that's connected to something that's translucent. So yeah, y'all do the research. Y'all check it out. See if I'm joking or not. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Jobs that you don't know that pays extremely well. So Rocky the Mount Rocky the Mountain Lion for the Denver Nuggets, right? So different mascots for the NBA, they make different type of money. All mascots don't make the same type of money. So it was interesting to find out that Rocky the Mountain Lion for the Denver Nuggets, regardless of who the person is, makes $625,000 a year. He's the most highest paid uh, mascot in the NBA. Second most paid mascot is Harry the Hawk for Atlanta Falcons. He makes 600,000. Then is Benny the Bull from Chicago Bulls. He made 400,000 a year. Then is the Gorilla for the Phoenix Suns. He makes 200,000. And rounding it off, Hugo the Hornet for the Charlotte Hornets make 100,000 a year. What do you think about that?
So only in America you could put on a fucking animal costume and make six figures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and high six figures.
Why aren't they talking about them in the dating pool? You know what I'm saying? They high six figure earners. You know what I'm saying? They just wear, you know what I'm saying, a costume. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
They don't even work all that the full year.
right. So yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You work for the fucking organization that's only around half a year.
yeah, 42 games a year.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
you can't pay 600,000,
yeah, that's crazy.
400,000, 100,000.
Yeah, for 42 nights.
Barely
Plus
a month.
and plus plus added like promotional stuff or whatever. But so what is that? That take your 42 nights to maybe 60 nights? That's 625,000 a year. What are we talking about?
So I'm saying America is different, boy. It's a different world over here.
All
Only
right, y'all,
America.
move to our next hot topic. We got college football. Ash picks is in, y'all. All right, so number 19, Clemson played Virginia Tech. I told y'all to go with Clemson. Clemson won. So they got the W. Washington at number 6, Penn State. I told y'all to pick Penn State. Penn State won. Got number 2, Georgia, played at number 16, Ole Miss. I told y'all to pick Georgia. Georgia took the L burger, so they lost. Number 11, Bama played at number 14, LSU. I told y'all to take LSU. Bama won, y'all. And last but not least, Colorado played at Texas Tech. I told y'all to take Colorado. Colorado won. So I went 3-2 with the picks. So if y'all chose my picks, y'all went 3-2. So you won more money than you lost. So you're welcome. You made some money. So 3-2, but I will have next college football ass picks for Thursday's episode. Still mess with me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Still mess with me. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get this right. All right, moving on to our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you go to bigbravosection.com. Again, bigbravosection.com. If you're in the Miami area, you can book a session with one of the best photographers in the world. If you're not, still book that session. They'll fly out, take care of your session, and you can also buy dope photography off the site of bigbravo.com. You got petty thought for us for petty law?
I got a few words from the law book. So first one on the book is called misnomer. A mistaken name, giving incorrect name to a person in an accusation, indictment, pleading, deed, or other instrument. under rules practiced in some states, such as ground for dismissal by motion. In some states, however, as well as in federal courts, such misnomer can be corrected by an amendment of the procedures. When a misnomer occurs in a deed, the normal procedure is to prepare and record a correction deed, commonly a quitclaim deed, which is used for this purpose. Right. Uh, Next word is last resort court of. Court from which there is no further appeals is called a court of last resort. So, for example, is the Supreme Court. So you have a case, you can push it all the way to Supreme Court, but after that, that's it. Next word on the list is called gold standard. So, a monetary system in which every form of currency is convertible on demand into its local equivalent in gold or gold coin. The U.S. adopted the gold standard in 1900 and terminated it in 1934. Right, and last word on here is gold bond. So a gold bond is one payable in gold coin or its equivalent, which means any money acceptable to the U.S. government in payment of debts due it. Which means if you still have gold coins or gold bonds, there are still forms of currency that you can use to pay debts off. So if you have any family member that's in trading and they do trades in minerals, definitely want to get gold because instead of using fiat currency, which is paper money, you have gold, which has a more it has a better exchange rate and is still acceptable to this day by the U.S. government for paying off debts. Even though they stopped the gold standard back in the 30s, you can still pay debts off with gold. And those are my words for this week, which are gold bond, gold standard, last resort, court of, and misnomer.
That's fire, bro. Make sure y'all send my brother some words so he could look them up and have them ready for the next episode. I am moving on to our next segment, our Keep the Lie Live segment.
Keep the lie alive.
Keep the Lie alive. So my Keep the Lie alive for this episode is parents. Stop taking your kids to places that you cannot control. There was a big article or a big story that just came out not too long ago about a child that was sorry about that that there was a child, the 8-year-old child that went absolutely berserk on an 8-hour flight. No, he was 8. I'm sorry, he was about five or six on an 8-hour flight. And he, of course, he's screaming, he's whimpering through the 8-hour flight. Um, and the mother of the flight cannot control him. She's asking the flight attendants if they have, aids. Can they turn off the light sooner so he could like kind of calm down? Is it a way where do you have an extra tablet? Like, it's not on other people to situate your children. But I see this all the time, whether it's flights, whether it's at the movie theaters. You go to a late night movie theaters, there's a parent that thought it was a smart idea to bring their small child in this movie theater and they crying all through the movie. You see it all the time with, especially living out in Florida, you see parents just letting their kids do whatever without no supervision, without no type of making sure they are right, playing in the right areas and things of that nature. And then on flights where you basically at the mercy of that parent if they don't know how to situate them. No matter where I went as a father, I knew how to situate my daughter. My daughter I've never had my daughter anywhere from a young child where she went absolute berserk. And I didn't have control over her actions and how she was acting in public because that's a reflection on me as a parent. That's a reflection on I don't know how to situate my child to get her calm, to get her, ready to go just by my words, especially if I give her something to do. Give her a tablet, give her this, give her that for her to calm down. So, parents, Stop taking your kids to places where you cannot control the outcome. We didn't ask for your kid to be there. We didn't ask for you to be on this flight with your kid, but you're here. So at least have the decency to be able to know how to control them, to know how to keep them from making a scene, from crying. You can't control a kid from crying, but from just going absolute berserk, running up and down the aisles and being untamable, always moving and being fidgety. You have to learn how to situate your children. And that's my keep the lie alive for this episode. I mean, what do you think about that, bro?
I mean, I don't even got to ask you. I already know all those scenarios you just mentioned is just single mothers. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no father gonna let their kid go crazy like that on no 8-hour flight, embarrassing him. You know what I'm saying? The child himself and everybody else. Like, ain't no way. So just by knowing that, I already know it's a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You need to bring the child back to his father. You created that child with that father. He was good enough to make a child with him. Now all of a sudden, he's not good enough to help you raise the child. When it's time to discipline the child, like, you know what I'm saying? We know, like, women don't never want to hear this, but by a certain age, if you have a son, he already know he can manhandle you. But we just don't do it because we love our mothers. By a certain age,
Right.
is around like 10 or 11, when we just know our mothers' beatings don't affect us, their
Mm-hmm.
threats don't affect us, but we play the game because, you know, it's our mothers.
Yeah.
When it comes
Yeah.
to our fathers, there ain't no playing the game. Ain't no age where I'm gonna step to my pops and be like, nah, it's my time to shine. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no Tyreek over here. You shooting your pops and you taking over the blade. Nah. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
But when it's your mom, it's like, nah, chill. You know what I'm saying? Chill out. Chill.
To a little
But
boy, nothing more scary than I'm gonna tell your daddy. Ain't
but these
nothing.
women think they could do it all. No, you can't. You know what I'm saying? And this is the end result. So um, then Angela Bassett teach you in Boys in the Hood. About 10 years old, she was shipping Trey off to his father.
Yeah. 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 That's a fact.
Go, little dude.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Why you think she did that?
Mm-hmm.
She can't control the little nigga no more.
Mm-hmm.
Pops ain't have to pull out no belt. He just gave Buddy responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's your first day home. I'm having you here. Now go rake the leaves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
First day.
Yeah.
Bro didn't even get a chance to unpack his bag, nothing. Went straight to raking leaves.
And then.
Chores, discipline. This is what boys need, son.
Mm-hmm.
Children need. You know what I'm saying? Discipline, regardless. It's going to come from the father, period. But with that scenario, I already know it was no father figure in that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You know what I'm saying? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a woman thinking she could do it on her own. And why would you take your child on an 8-hour flight? Like, what she was thinking?
Oh my god. Oh
That's
my.
entitlement. You just think it's all about you. Like, you the only one on the flight.
Oh my god. Oh my
Now, if
god.
you find private, all right, cool, do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't care about nobody else. You just had to take this 8-hour flight.
And you know the type of child that you have. So
You
if
know your child.
you know you can't control your child, then you need to find
You know you can't control your child. You know this already.
you, you need to find other means to travel. You need to find other means to travel, or y'all need to travel with that child's father or somebody that knows how to situate him.
Your child's father.
Simple and plain.
That's it. But women
They,
want to do that. They want to do their own thing. I got a better play. You seen what happened to Beeman when he had a better play, right? They left him sipping his invisible juice.
yeah, you know what's funny, right? Um, so it was funny. So my dad would be like, what you gotta go do? And I tell him, I gotta go do this, you know, blah, blah, blah. He was like, so, Aaliyah going with you? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, nah, leave her here. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna bust this, you know, move. He's like, nah, just leave her here. I wanna see it anyway. Just leave her here. All right, go bust my move. I come back, I walk through the door. Aaliyah just chilling, just as happy, just like she chilling with Pop Pop. Like, Pop Pop then situate her. Like, I'm like, what happened to the stuff that I left? He was like, oh, I didn't worry about that, man. Like, we chilling, we good. So it was no, I didn't walk back in the house and my daughter running around the house like a Tasmanian devil. She was situated in one area chilling, and her and my pops just chopping it up. And mind you, she was little at the time. So a 3-year-old, 4-year-old child just chopping it up. She wasn't running around wild juice and pamper wild wet. Just what I'm saying. She was situated.
That's all I'm saying. Like my daughter don't be acting wild. When my daughter was a baby, like I'd take her everywhere. People forget she's even there. She was well behaved child. I ain't had to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She'd be
Yeah.
right here, right under the tongue. I had it right here like this. You know what I'm saying?
Right at the top. Right at the top. Yeah.
Quiet, calm. So that's when people say, "Oh, my child is mine." Well, your child is that.
Yeah.
Child Gucci.
Yeah.
And if my nah, you know what I'm saying? So I just figured bring the child to his father. Father figured pop somebody. You
Somebody.
can't do it by yourself, obviously.
I remember
For everybody else that was on that flight, honestly.
I brought my daughter to school. I brought her to Nassau one time, and they was like, "Oh my God, she acts so well. How old is she?" I'm like, "Oh, she only 3." She was like, "Oh my God, she's one of the best child I've ever seen." Like, cause she was just chilling. She no running around extraness. She was chilling. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was good. Mind you, I didn't have a whip at the time, so we bus and train, and you know what I'm saying. We on the road again. You know what I'm saying? And she was chill. So like them people on the flight, they paid their money. If you think of an 8-hour flight, that's an expensive flight. And the last thing you want to do on your 8-hour flight is not to be relaxed and have to deal with a screaming, wailing child for 8 hours, kicking your back in your seat and all this, that, and the third. It's like, come on, man. So parents, stop taking your kids to places where you can't control the outcome. All right, y'all. Yo, that's been an episode. Thank y'all for supporting us and and showing us so much love from episode to episode. Hit them rewatches. Y'all been watching them rewatches, though. I can't front, but we giving y'all a lot of rewatches at one time. We trying to get them out as much as possible. So continue to watch them rewatches on the page. We got a lot of rewatches, so continue to watch and comment and hit that like button. Again, we love. We appreciate y'all. And we have a lot of rewatches. We got over like 220 some rewatches of this show on this channel. So make sure you tap into the rewatches. Also, don't forget to share a clip. Share a clip. We won't eat your food. Share a clip. It's cool. Show some love. We love. Again, I want to thank some of the sponsors of the show. Bravo section, Button Snaps, OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild, or you can hit my brother on his Instagram at
Bravo section _.
So if you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, hit us up on Instagram. Don't forget to check out the Overstand podcast every Monday at 9:30. Why understand when you can overstand again every Monday at 9:30. Also, be on the lookout. I'm working on my new EP, Summer of '08, talking about everything that happened back in 2008. So make sure y'all be ready for that album when it come out, my EP when it comes out. In the mean in between time, on your music platforms, just type in Ashley Lovechild. All my music will pop up. I got some heat, so make sure y'all check it out. I know my brother want to promote something before we get up out of here.
Just tap into my website, bigbravosection.com.
Make sure y'all tap in bigbravosection.com. Y'all already know, man. We here every Sunday, every Thursday at 10:30. So again, continue to support the show. Tap into the membership portion of the show. Different memberships, different access. So make sure y'all tap in. Get your badges. Get your badges. Get your badges. You already know, man. It's all love. We out of here, and we'll see y'all this Thursday at 10:30. We out.